818-610-8088. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088. TejiboTClub.com.
It's my station.
ProLogic Radio. The legends you love and the best talk. Progressive talk in Southern California.
We listen to you all the time.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey,
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And I'm Brianna Prince.
Yes, Brianna Prince. We actually just met her in the studio.
Yeah.
It's kind of convenient, but she saved us and she saved our show, so thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on.
Before we get to anything, if you guys are watching the show, you're doing a mistake. There's a football game going on. It's the Super Bowl. We got a minute left. We're not playing it because we can't do that. It's against FCC regulations. But, hey, if you guys want to call in and make comments or questions or have any concerns, what's the number, Kyle?
That's going to be 888-909-1050. That is 888-909-1050. And real quick, our sponsor, snjradio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel-good music.
So to give you guys, the listeners, and Brianna here, a little heads up about our show, it is called Whatever Works, and it's a great show.
No, we're not biased.
We're not biased at all.
No, we just have money on this.
The reason why it's called Whatever Works is because we don't want to be stuck to one category or one topic. We've been doing this for like 3 years.
Oh, really?
Imagine talking about something for 3 years.
Yeah, that would be.
What are you gonna say after the second week? There's a lot of things to talk about and there's a lot of things to share. And every Sunday night at 7 p.m., except for today, it was a little later, like 7:10. We're bringing a new guest. Brianna is our guest.
Lucky girl.
You're in a treat tonight. She has a headache, but we're going to torture her a little bit. She's going to be the star guest. But anyways, we get a new guest every Sunday night, and literally we talk about whatever works. So whatever they're passionate about, whatever occupation they're in, whether it's Mother's Day, we have our moms on. Whether it's
Dad's Day on our Father's Day.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny. We had some good guests this past week, and we actually have all the way up till, towards the end of March booked up?
We have halfway through March booked up.
Halfway through March. And our guest tonight was going to show up, not Brianna, but someone else. Mm-hmm. However, she had a flat tire. She was in L.A. Good excuse. We'll give her that one. And unfortunately, she wasn't here to make it. But fortunately, we have Brianna here.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I want you to introduce yourself. Because you have a show here as well.
I do. Right. So my name is Brianna Prince. I am a life insurance agent, a real estate investor, and I have a show here. Actually, my show is every Sunday from 2 to 3 o'clock called The Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. And that's where I interview business owners and entrepreneurs about their journey, getting into entrepreneurship, learning more about them and their business.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Now, is that every day or is it just on Sundays?
Sundays. Every Sunday, 2 to 3.
Sunday.
Yeah, so we kind of, I sat here a while, mostly because of the football game, and I didn't want to drive home, so kind of hung out with Joe, the engineer, today.
Yes, sir. And if you guys never met Joe, you probably never will. I'm just kidding.
Wow. I've been trying to get Joe like on TV or something,
right?
because I think he's funny.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy.
Fun.
We actually had Joe's music played.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Joe had some music played during our new music hour.
What?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Joe.
And not only that, he's a comedian. Sometimes we do some shows,
and he'll pass notes.
He'll walk around and give me a piece of paper, and I'm reading it. I'm like shaking my head. I'm like, Joe, are you kidding me right now? And some of them are actually really good questions. He doesn't pay attention all the time because he's not biased, right? Some shows he's not really interested in, but other shows he's like, hey, I have my own question, right? And that's when you know it's a good show. If Joe's paying attention.
I know, seriously, yeah.
If he's like thinking about some stuff, then what's going on here? Did he just make a touchdown or something? Field goal?
Yeah.
Oh, very close. Man, plus an
9
injury.
seconds.
Guys, we got 9 seconds left.
And
for
I
the
must
Super Bowl.
say, this is the first time I've actually watched an entire football
man.
game.
Yeah.
Period.
Ever?
Let alone
Really?
let alone the Super Bowl.
Okay. Have you watched?
It's actually been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Don't understand half of what's going on, but the guys have been really helpful in teaching. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
It's actually Joe over here. He's like, no, this is what
Yeah.
happens. Like, he's probably really good at Madden. You know, that's probably what he plays.
Yeah.
Have you watched any other sports? Have you been?
I
interested in
used
any
to
of
be an
that?
athlete.
Oh, okay.
I used to play basketball and run track, but that was years ago. That was
You
high
look
school
like a
days.
track runner.
Oh my goodness! No, so those were those high school days.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it since then.
Yeah.
Were you like the 100 dash?
I did do sprints. Yeah,
Yeah,
hundreds, 200, 4x1, 4. I hated the 4x4. I was not. You know, the shorter sprints I liked because I can get done quickly.
Right.
That long sprint, man, that's
I bet.
that's hard.
Yeah.
I was good at it, but I hated it. I hated it. So eventually I got to a point where I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
People hated me for it. But
Yeah,
no.
I used to. Oh, good call, Joe. So
I thought that
I
was
was
intentional.
I was a wrestler for most of my high school career, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do track, so I did hurdles, and I only did hurdles for about 2 weeks because I kept banging my knees on the bars, or whatever. But like
Yeah.
in wrestling, you use your knees a lot.
Oh, you
And-
were a wrestler?
Yeah, I was a wrestler. So I was like,
Yeah.
I can't be hurting my knees if I'm, cause like track was just like, I don't know. I thought, you know, you get some good cardio in, you know, things like that.
At least you thought about it methodically.
Yeah.
Me, no. I just did not. You know, I did it because I was good at it, you know,
Oh,
but I
really?
did not. Yeah, you know, I was what I called a lazy athlete, I must admit. Yes. You know, I was natural at it. I mean, I wasn't as good as a lot of people tend to think that I was. And that showed at CIF, you know, kind of.
Did you choke or something?
No, you know, it's so funny because in our league, you know, I'm from San Jacinto. That's my hometown.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And in our league, I was, you know, the top runner. But go to CIF, I got blown out the water.
Oh, bet. Oh, yeah.
So it was perception, really. So
Yeah.
everyone thought that I was a really good runner, but then, you know, got showed up at
You're
CIF.
only a good runner like in your high school,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. in my area, yeah. But then when you go out and expand or whatever, yeah, not so
Then
much.
you really start to see the competition.
Right.
See, I was bad luck.
What?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
This is a good game,
I just
guys.
did not
Overtime.
expect that. What happened?
Overtime, guys. Woo, baby.
Wow.
We're gonna have to stop the show early.
And you,
No, I'm just kidding.
and you said it's been like every 10 years or something like that where
It's been
that
a long
happens.
time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
No, but my brother, he was a state mountain bike racer.
Oh,
He was like
wow.
second in California.
Nice.
And every time he would come back from a race, he was like, dude, I got first, I got second, I got first, I got third, you know? And then he was like, you got to go to one of my races. I was like, dude, I'll support you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I went, and he got like 56th. You know? So I was
Oh,
like,
man.
all right. So then he went, he did 3 more races, and he got second, he got first, fifth, second, third. And then I went again, he got like 37th.
you are bad luck. I'm
And
sorry.
I said that. I was like, dude, I am bad luck. I can't go to your games. It was his last race, state race, Monterey, last race for like high school ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you have to come.
Oh.
I'm like, all right, I'll go. You know.
Yeah.
He got last place.
What?
He got last place.
Wow.
I
that's
felt so
crazy.
bad. I was like, I can't blame myself though. You know?
Although it was probably your fault.
That's what I'm, you know, and it's like, seriously. And then my
Yeah.
buddy, he plays football, flag football, all that stuff. And every time I go to a game,
Oh, you are just bad.
it's just bad luck.
Oh
It's
my
just bad
gosh.
luck for other people.
Right.
You know, not
Not for
me.
yourself.
When I went to he was also in track, my other brother, and his first race, I had an iPad, right? This is back in the day when I thought iPads were cool. And I was like recording him first race. He was in 1st, killing it. And then he just stumbled and just like ate crap like hard. Aww. And I got excited. I was like, got that on video, you know?
Yeah,
like,
World Star.
Yeah, bro, that was back when World Star was a kid.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
And it was
say.
just like, and then I just keep thinking back. I'm like, I should not be going to any of my family's events if it's gonna be like this. At least like sport events,
Right.
you know, when it's like competition's high and all that.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's crazy. I don't do that much anymore. So
Sports is fun though.
Yeah,
You know,
sports is
I
fun.
like playing for fun. I actually loved competing. I just hated practicing. I know it sounds bad,
no,
and I
yeah.
hate to admit that, but it's true.
yeah, I mean, I was more of a guy who, you know, sports was more of like a fun thing. Some people take it very seriously.
Oh, I'm not that person.
Yeah, like Timmy, my oldest brother, like we would have all our friends come over and we'll box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole neighborhood would just box each other. And it was for fun, you know.
That's
we're like
scary though.
we're like, well, yeah, and we're like tagging each other and stuff. But Timmy was there to knock people out,
Oh,
you know. And then
Timmy was.
Timmy was so aggressive, and I was like, he'd be like, so like, oh, Timmy and Sam, you guys box. I'm like, no, I'm not boxing my oldest brother. First of all, he's gonna beat me up. Second of all, he's gonna go as hard as he can, 100%. You know. And he's like, you're supposed to. It's boxing. I'm like, bro, we're friends and
Yeah.
like brothers. You're not supposed
You
to.
guys are gonna walk away enemies.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
a
oh
spark.
my gosh, Timmy was too much. But Timmy would drag us to our limits all the time, even with
Yeah.
Kyle. Like Timmy's very extreme. If you ever met Timmy, like I don't know what he did with you, but he would have like
He's put me through a lot.
Wait, are you guys like childhood friends or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
my sister, who is 20 now, I think, hate to say that, but when she was a little kid, he used to babysit her. Like that,
Oh,
that's how
okay.
young.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Yeah.
His oldest brother, we grew up together, and so I ended up being around his family a lot because my mom always worked, and so she dropped me off.
So you were kind of like the adopted brother in the
Yeah,
family.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Timmy's like, "Hey, let's do this," and it'll be like 5 people on a bicycle, no hand. And by the way, we took our brakes off on our bikes, so it's like, let's go down the boulevard, see how many people we can put on a bike, and just go downhill.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Okay, I have to ask, how many broken bones have you had?
so that's the crazy thing. Me personally, 0.
What?
Wow. I thought my nose broke when I was younger when we were playing like baseball.
Yeah.
Because I was the pitcher, right? Timmy, obviously, is the batter. And every time I threw the ball, I would like duck, right? And he's like, Sam, throw the ball right, like da da da. I was like, all right, fine. And I threw it, and he hits it and went straight towards my face. And like I hit the floor. My nose was just gushing blood.
Oh my god.
I went crying to my mom. But I don't think my nose is broken because it's not like misshaped or anything. Yeah, it's a little crooked, you know.
Yeah.
You look good.
But Timmy, on the other hand, both my brothers, they've broken some bones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Timmy for sure.
Yeah, Timmy's a different story. I felt bad one time because my brother JC, there was like this canyon, right? It was right after school. They were trying to show off, and they can jump from like one side to the other, right? When they were kids.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. And so there's all these little kids, and he's like, you guys want to see us jump across? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they'd done it before, but for whatever reason this time, my brother, he didn't jump far enough, and he landed like on like the cliffside and like rolled his ankle and like cracked it.
Oh.
And so me being the brother, I was like, all right, I'm going to put him on my shoulders, and I'm going to get out of the canyon, right? I'm going to help him because he's like crying. He's in pain, right?
Dang.
And I'm walking across the street. We make it a Jack in the Box. We're in the parking lot. And someone said, hey, tie your shoes. And as soon as that happened, I tripped on my shoelace, and I dropped him on his ankle.
Oh.
And when he went to the doctors that day, his whole ankle was just shattered. And I think
Dang.
half of it was me dropping him on the asphalt,
That's
you know?
terrible. My
Yeah.
gosh.
So
Is he still destructive now?
well, I mean,
I don't know if destructive is the proper word, but you know.
well, I mean, he's grown up. He's matured.
Oh, okay.
For sure. You know, he's a machine gun in the Marine Corps. He has a wife. He has 3 kids. They were like not even a year old, 2 years old, and 3 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You know, so he can't be destructive. His kids are taking his place now. You know,
Oh
so,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. But Timmy's still a wild child. Yeah, Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy.
Timmy, he's a snowboarder. You
Okay.
know, his
Yeah.
first time snowboarding, he tried to do a backflip off a ramp, broke his arm. You know, and then
gosh.
but this year he bought the World Snowboarding Pass.
Yeah, the Icon Pass.
Icon Pass.
Yeah, so he's already been all over the place. He went to Oregon, Colorado twice,
Mammoth.
Mammoth.
Nice.
His
Like
next
this
trip
guy.
is going to be in Alaska.
He's gonna go
Oh,
to
wow.
Alaska.
That's
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go to Alaska though.
Really?
I get
Yeah.
cold so easily, but for whatever reason, I think it's because when I was in high school, me and a group of friends always said that we wanted to go to Alaska, and we just never went. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
okay, yeah.
You know, at this point.
Never went yet.
Yes,
you
yes,
still-
yes.
Yeah.
We still got time.
Is there a place in Alaska that you want to go visit, or is
You
like
know
is there
what?
something in Alaska that you want to go do?
Come on, the Northern Lights. I want to
Northern
see
Lights, okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
the
looks
Northern Lights.
awesome.
Yeah.
She shows up. She lands in the airport. All right, we made it. Let's go back.
I might freeze to death though. You know, I must say, because I
Yeah.
get cold easily.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah.
You know, I had an ex who, like, I'm very extroverted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go out there. I want to be adventurous. However, she never wanted to do any of that. She didn't want to go out in the sun. She was like, oh, it's gonna skin damage, you
no.
know, whatever. She went to Hawaii with her friends, right? And they did all these crazy things and saw the mountains and the ocean and you know, sea turtles, whatever. And I was like, see, you can't. That's so like, isn't that amazing? And she was like, I could have saw that on the internet. Like everything
Oh
that
my
I saw,
gosh,
I
that's
could have
so
saw on the
depressing.
internet. And I was like, I can't believe that. You
Wow.
know? So like when you're like, oh, go see the Northern Lights. In my head, I was thinking of her like, oh, I can just look that up and like. I was like,
It's not the same.
so
It's
lame.
not the same.
Because like imagine the crisp air, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
touching
Exactly.
your skin and like the lights, just like it's almost surreal. You know, I'm a realtor, right? And
Oh,
I've been
okay.
going to a lot of houses with like 360 views of like the Inland Empire. You can see like Paris. You can see all these crazy things.
Yeah.
And like there'll be windows, like their bathtub with the window, just like everything. And you're just looking like it almost does not look real.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? And today I went up to someone's house over in Cherry Valley, and he had a 360 view, and I was just like, it was almost too much. It was almost like overwhelming. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like
Yeah.
being on the freeway and like being in the city,
Right.
like it's more comfortable. That's what I'm like used to,
Yeah.
you know? And so like seeing the Northern Lights or like going to a mountaintop, you don't experience that every day.
Have you ever gone skydiving?
No.
I want to go.
Me too,
I
actually.
want to go so bad.
I thought you have.
What?
No?
Me, no.
Oh, I thought you and Timmy went together. That's crazy.
No, he was supposed to take me and never did. And I'm still butthurt
Shame
about
on
it.
Timmy.
But no, I'm definitely afraid of heights. But I still want to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I have friends, you know, when we were in high school, again, you know, that was something that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Skydiving, you know, it's the cool
Right.
thing to do when you're young.
Yeah.
But now we're older, we're in our early 30s, and she doesn't want to do it anymore. I'm like,
Really?
That's crazy.
I want to go. I'm going to go regardless. But it's just taking me a minute to get there. But one of these days, I am going.
See,
Yeah.
See, I heard that the plane ride is the most scariest
Yeah.
part.
It probably
the,
is.
The anticipation, the
Right.
nervousness. And then I also heard,
That's the worst part of a flight for me. It's
Really?
like taking off. Yeah,
Oh, that scares you.
it does.
man,
okay.
I got a flight story. But anyways, I also heard that once you jump off the plane, like your stomach drops. But like
Right.
since you're so high in the elevation and like the ground doesn't look like you're falling.
Right.
Right? Because like when you fall, you see the ground coming towards you. But
Yeah.
when you're so high, that effect is not there. So then you
I
kind of
believe
just like
it.
floating, you know?
Yeah.
My only concern is like with my blood clots, like the impact of like the ground, you know, like how hard is it when you hit the ground? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
Well, it seems. I mean, I've only seen it in videos now. Come on,
like,
but
people like running like when they land.
oh,
right?
that is true.
Or
yeah.
like they slide on their butts or something.
It seems kind of graceful though, sort of. No.
Some
Yeah,
people, I mean,
it
for
does.
some people.
It doesn't look rough to me. I don't know.
You know, they say I got my blood clots from body trauma.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Huh.
I mean, it's just because like they never figured it out, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why they're like, hey, we recommend medication for the rest of your life. And I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. But I had to do it for the mandatory time, obviously. But So yeah, because within this event, they're like, okay, how many drugs have you taken? Like this, they're asking me questions, right?
Yeah.
Which was stupid because they said, hey, we're gonna have your parents leave the building.
Oh, so
or
that way,
the room,
yeah.
so you can be honest with us,
Right.
right? I wasn't 100% honest. I was like 90%, you know.
Yeah.
But then they transferred me to ICU, and they asked me the same questions, but in front of my parents, because that doctor didn't know that these doctors took my parents out. So when I already told them yes to stuff, now my
said no.
parents are in the room, and then they asked me the same questions. I'm like, well, I can't say no. You know? So I was like, yes, and my parents were just livid. Oh, I knew it. Blah, 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 just like chewing me out. And I'm like, guys, I'm on my deathbed right now. I'm like, don't be mad at me. But when they were trying to like figure out what happened, they just came to a conclusion. They were just like, well, it's nothing genetic. So just within this time period, all these events happen. It's probably body trauma. You know, and I was just like, oh, great, thanks, guys. Like, you really helped me out, you know, like, but I don't know,
That's interesting.
I don't like going to the doctors. It's just,
I mean,
Yeah, me
neither
either.
do I. You know, well, hey, we're all on the same page, it sounds like.
I think everyone's on the same page at this point.
Yeah.
Well, you know, being in the life insurance industry, just way too much. I just see people on medications, and half the time it's medications being used for like side effects of the primary problem. And it's
Right.
like the majority, a lot of people are like on 10, 15 medications. And I'm like, how do you keep track of that? Like, I don't know. That's insanity.
My
to
dad
me.
is on 32 medications.
And I've seen cases like that too. And
Yeah.
that just, why?
Yeah.
You know, like it's to me, and I obviously take what I say with a grain of salt because I'm not a doctor.
Right.
But that seems like way too many medications. I can't even think about. Look, I can't even do one a day, like let alone 32.
Yeah.
Come on,
One a
that's
day.
crazy.
Yeah, I forget it.
Yeah.
Your antibiotics, I missed a day. You're just
Yeah.
You're just like, oh.
How do you
gotta
keep
restart
track?
the cycle.
Did I take
Yeah.
that one?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like too much to me.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And I don't know, some of these medications I feel like can be handled differently. Like maybe you don't need those medications, you know, in a sense.
It definitely seems like sometimes I mean, maybe for good reason. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but
Right.
sometimes it seems like they just kind of push it, you know, like it drives me nuts when I see people talk about medicating children. Like they're children.
That's
like
a
I don't
big
think
thing
that's
too.
necessary.
Like that whole 90s, 2000s pushing Adderall, Ritalin out.
That happened in the 90s?
Yeah, it happened
Really?
actually. It started in 95.
Oh,
Well,
really?
yeah, when they started all this stuff.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
How old are you?
No problem. No, I'm just kidding. I'm 20. I'm just as old as Purdy.
24?
He's 24,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
24.
Oh, shoot. I'm old. Sitting over here. Joe.
Yeah, we all look at Joe.
We need
like,
some age over here. That's funny.
yeah, right. No, but
Oh, you are. Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like sometimes when it comes to like medication, like a good example is like anxiety or like depression pills or whatever.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Like you don't need those realistically. You know, a couple weeks ago we talked about emotions and how to handle them and like pros and cons with them. And like with some people who have like anxiety, like you can do things in your life to like reduce your anxiety.
Exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of
exercise
them.
is one, yeah.
Depression for sure. Like, you know, exercising helps with depression.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that. Like, you don't need medication, and then you might be prescribed the wrong medication, and then it just makes things worse. You know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine who he kind of went crazy, right? But that's only because he was like drinking a lot, and so when they identified him as like 5150, like he was only crazy when he was drunk. When he was sober, he was normal, right?
Yeah.
But since they caught him in the act while he was drunk, they're like, hey, you're 5150. Here's some pills for you to take. And those pills actually caused him to have like major depression.
Oh, wow.
Like, and it was supposed to be a pill that brings you up, you know, but it's because he didn't actually have that problem. They like misdiagnosed him.
Yeah.
So then they're like, well, take these pills, you know, and it's just like now he's taking two different pills that counteract with each other and like all this crazy stuff. And it's just one after the other. It's insane.
That's
So-
interesting. That's
And
crazy.
let's take a look at lithium for a second.
Lithium.
Yeah, lithium.
I don't know anything about lithium, but I'm
Yeah,
all ears.
educate us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lithium. Like,
Lithium was big in the 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000s,
Okay.
and it was big for.
that's
Huh?
what I was thinking. Like, he's a history major in the 80s and 90s. Like,
Well, I've taken care of my dad since I was 7 years old, and he's been on 50 different medications. He's currently on 33 of them. So I know, like, just show me a pill. I'll probably tell you what it is.
Oh, wow.
I'll probably tell you how strong it is and what it does. Like, I've been around a lot of medication my whole life.
Yeah.
you're certified at this point.
At this point, I think I could be a pharmacist. No, seriously. And so, like, lithium and, like, medication for anti-anxiety, it doesn't fix the anxiety. It just sedates you and turns you into a zombie. And so, that's really big. And I'm super against medicating children.
No,
I think kids should be kids.
agreed.
And I think that we should take at least all the medication away from at least just the children. And you should, if you can consent to vote, and like be an adult, I think that's when you should be able to choose when to take your medication. Because medication for children, like giving children a lot of medication is like altering their brain chemistry.
Yeah, their brains are still developing. Yeah.
And now you have this whole generation of kids who are just zombies. They don't want to go outside. They don't want to work. They don't want to, and they can't
Yeah.
because they don't have the brain skills.
And also, when it comes to like being sedated and stuff and not actually helping the problem,
Yeah.
like that problem just increases
Right.
over time. So now you have even more built up depression, more built up anxiety. Like the reason why working out helps with anxiety and depression is because all of that energy and those thoughts are not being withheld. You're literally pushing that energy out of your system. You're vibrating and just getting it out of your body. But with all these pills, you're just sedating all that, and you're doing nothing but building it up. That's why when it comes to that's why it's hard with like discipline, right? Because now let's say you have a vice, right? And it's like you're trying to control yourself. But in the moment of controlling yourself, you crave for it more.
Right.
Right? Instead of feeding yourself, because like let's say you like vaping, okay, and you're like, oh, I want to quit vaping, and then like you try to discipline yourself, but then all you can think about is vaping. So then you try to rationalize, and you're like, well, maybe if I just hit it once, and then I've got my feeling, I can just continue on with my life.
Right.
But if you break up the word rationalize, you're like the end word is lies. Like you're lying to yourself to make you feel better about the decision you're about to make.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're gonna feel guilty.
Yeah.
And so like with pills, it's like you don't have that conscious battle with yourself, which actually improves your willpower, which improves your ability to live longer, right? The willpower to stay alive.
Yeah.
But taking all these pills, you're sedating and suppressing all those emotions, which build up over time, and it's gonna kill you.
Exactly.
So, what are your thoughts, Brianna?
At the end of the day, I just have no interest in medications. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Hearing your dad 32 medications.
He was on more now because he has double pneumonia. So he has antibiotic beta blockers that he has to take now, and everything gets switched out. So I have to, like, in my mind mentally, okay, it's this day of the week. He should be running out of this medication. Like, it's a lot.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting too personal,
No,
let
go
me
ahead
know.
and ask. Yeah.
How is your dad able to take care of himself?
No.
Oh, he's not.
No.
How long has it been since he's been able to take care of himself?
He had a heart attack and stroke at 41, and I was 6 years old when it happened. Actually, I was 7
So he's been
And-
like that for a really long time.
for a very long time.
Wow.
and this isn't like just off one occurrence. This is just his whole life. Because when he was growing up, he was in wrestling and he was in construction, and they didn't have hazmat back then. So like you're breathing in all these chemicals, sawdust, and stuff like that. Then he was shipped to Vietnam. He fought in the Vietnam War and was one of those people who held the tanks that sprayed all those chemicals.
Oh, what was it called? It was
Agent Orange, Agent
thank
Blue.
you. Yeah, Agent
and
Orange.
So he did that for 3 years, and then he came back and continued construction, where he's just like, you know, he's working at all these jobs where they don't have hazmat.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a lot of stress, a lot of like not sleeping, and it's just a domino effect that like finally fell.
Yeah.
And so, oh, crazy. But
Someone got a field goal.
no, he has good days, bad days. Like right now, he's having a really bad day because of his pneumonia. But he's also been a guest on the show. He's come, he's walked, you know,
Okay,
walked
so
his cane,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know. But in today's like today, where I have to go and feed him, you know,
Yeah.
or I have to go and help him into the shower, you know, so he can take a bath. But
Do you feel like that made you kind of grow up a little bit quicker?
a lot quicker, I think. Yeah.
That's why we hired him to be my sister's babysitter. Like, you got it, Kyle.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Because he was
Yeah.
like 12, 13 at the time, you know? And,
Yeah.
like, we were the same age, but we weren't babysitting my sister. So it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Are
know?
you the only child?
No. So both my parents had previous marriages
Okay.
and had kids in like the 80s, 70s.
Oh,
So when I was
so
born,
you're the baby.
yeah, like my next closest sibling in age was 17 when I was born,
Wow.
and my oldest sibling was 22.
Wow.
So so what's crazy actually was I grew up. So my sister was the popular kid, or my sister Davina,
Okay.
and so she had a lot of friends, right? And she was also in cheerleading, all that. Her friends had kids. I grew up with those kids.
Yeah.
So it's weird, you know.
Funny.
So I knew everyone's parents. I knew everyone's, you know, like growing up. And I hung out with a lot of adults too because, you know, my parents are always working, or my dad was sick, so my mom was always working. And I go hang out with my brothers and their friends who are all like in their 20s, 30s. And so, and I'd be like 5.
Oh gosh.
So
You probably wish you could hang out with them like all the time, huh? As a 5-year-old?
honestly, yeah. What's funny was, so my brother Damon, he was kind of like suave, so he had like all the girls, and he'd bring them over, and I would like when he would go to the bathroom or leave the room, I would sneak in. And I would hug him. I'd be all
So you're suave.
yeah on purpose.
Yeah, he was just the mule, just bringing it all in, and you were like, all right, it's my time to shine.
Yeah.
They come to me. That's pretty cool.
And so I'd play like, you know, the little kid, you know, and like I knew I was doing the whole time. Like I wasn't
Right.
like, you know, and he'd come in the room, get out of the room. And he'd be like, don't talk to your brother like that. All the,
Nah,
Let him
nah,
stay.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
So,
all playing with the girls' hairs and stuff.
yeah. No, seriously, like.
He knew how to take care of the girls.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of memories I have like with people older than me. Like the only friends I have are like my age that I grew up with was like Timmy. It was like Timmy, Dylan, you know, and then everyone else is a lot older than me that I consider friends. You know,
Yeah.
just growing up.
That's interesting.
And what about you? Are you the only child?
Definitely not. There is 4 of us, so I'm the middle child. I have an older sister, a twin, and then a little brother.
You have a twin?
Yeah,
Like identical?
we are identical.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Who's the better looking one?
She is.
She is.
Yeah. But yeah, so growing up, I mean, my brother, it's funny because me and my sisters, my older sister is only a year older.
Yeah.
And then it's me and my twin, and then my little brother is 6 years younger than us. So growing up, we were raised very differently, even though, like, 6 years isn't a huge difference, but it kind of is, So my brother was the only boy, and he was the youngest. So this kid got spoiled.
He got it all.
Oh, he sure did. Still does. And it's funny because you can kind of see it in our lives. Like me and my sisters, we are all pretty well established and are on track as far as, our jobs and careers and the things that we've chosen to do with our lives. My brother, he's 6 years younger, so I'm 31. He just turned 25 actually last week.
Okay.
And he's existing. He's he's not gonna hear this. Don't share it with him. I mean, he just he's still trying to figure out life, but he's used to having everything handed to him. So like when I left for college, he was 12. He was still, I'm not gonna embarrass this kid, but what I will say is he still wasn't taking care of himself.
Right. Yeah.
Like he didn't have to cook for himself at all. My sister that stayed home, she was the one who had to make sure that he ate. My mom would say, go in the kitchen and make him a bowl of cereal. Like, he's 12 years old. He can make himself a bowl of cereal, but he never had to. Like, my last name is Prince. My brother lived up to that last name, man. He is a legit Prince. Like, he didn't have to do anything. Never had to. Yeah. Like, even cleaning his room. He didn't clean his room. Guess who did it? His sisters.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
interesting.
part of your chores.
Oh my gosh,
room.
No.
It's interesting, and it's funny because like I feel like my mom still doesn't recognize the fact that we were raised differently. Oh no, we raised you guys the same. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
if you want to say that, she's in denial, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I get it. You're a parent. You want to make sure that you don't want to be told that maybe you shouldn't have done you should have done things differently, you know. But
see, my oldest brother, like we're all 16 months apart.
Oh.
Right? So I'm 24, the other one's 25, the other one's 26. Like, we did all that, but my oldest brother has this thing where he feels like he didn't get to actually live his childhood. And the reason being is because when he was in middle school, he was like, hey, Mom, can I ride my bike to school? And she was like, no. But when me and JC were in middle school, we got to ride our bikes, And so he couldn't do anything he wanted to do, but we got to do everything we wanted to do just because Timmy was the oldest one. Like, being the first child, very protective.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go ride his bike. But then after me and JC were old enough, they're all like, hey, yeah, you guys can go ride your bikes.
Yeah.
Like everything that he wanted to do, he couldn't do it until we got to.
Yeah.
And I'm the youngest. Was I spoiled?
I bet you were.
Listen, I was only spoiled when it came to discipline. Like my dad.
That's facts.
My dad.
Timmy was like.
Okay, check this out.
Prison.
So my mom was watching American Idol. We're all on the couch waiting for my dad to come back home. He's gonna spank us, right? And so my dad comes home. He goes, boys, outside. This is 8 o'clock at night. Okay, it's cold, especially when you're a little kid. And he made us do push-ups while we sang our ABCs. Okay. While he sprayed us with a water hose.
Oh wow!
I got to like the letter like G. Okay. He's like, Sammy, you can get up, go dry yourself off, and go in the house. I'm watching American Idol with my mom.
Oh my gosh!
And I could just hear JC and Timmy just crying, singing his ABCs while he's getting sprayed outside. And then they come inside just drenched, like just drenched, And I think it was because I was the youngest.
I got a question though, because now that I'm talking with someone who's actually the youngest, I want to know, what did you feel like knowing that you had that special privilege? Did you just say, like, did you just feel lucky that you had that privilege, or what?
There it is. Chiefs won.
Wow.
No way. What?
The Chiefs won. It was rigged. No, just kidding. Conspiracy. Wow, that's crazy.
And there's a script, folks.
Right?
Now Taylor Swift is going to go and say something, big announcement. That's crazy.
They're saying he was going to propose to her if he won.
That's what I
Oh
figured,
my
yeah.
god.
No way.
No.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, back to the show because whoever's listening can't see us.
Yeah.
We're watching, but no,
Yeah.
because like we all got disciplined, so I still got spanked. Maybe I
Right.
got 3 spankings, while my brothers got like 5 or 6. You know,
Yeah.
but like I didn't feel lucky because I was still there going through the pain. You know, I wasn't a troublemaker. We were all the troublemakers. You
Yeah.
know?
Man, that's
So-
a house full of boys. I feel so bad for your mom.
So,
like,
so we have a younger
Goodness.
sister, okay, but she's 4 years younger.
well, she must have been in the middle of all that mess. I mean,
Man,
I
hey,
you know,
my
I
sister-
could do it.
My sister had my back when we
Oh,
were
no
when we were
way.
kids. I used to sneak out all the time, right? And I'm like, hey, Rhiannon, because there was a couple times my mom didn't know I snuck out, but she saw that the window was unlocked, so she would lock it. Right, so I'd like try to sneak back in the window, and the door was locked, or the window was locked. I'm like, oh man, like how am I gonna get back in? You know, so I used to tell my sister like, hey, like I'm going out tonight. Make sure the window is unlocked. Okay, if mom asks where I'm at, just say something. You know, she had my back since
Aw.
day
Yeah.
one.
That's awesome.
And
Rhiannon,
we used
yeah.
to go out, like we didn't watch TV, and we used to go out and like play around the neighborhood. And my sister, she's like, oh, I want to come with you guys. And we're like, nah, you got to be like 12 first. Like she's like 9. So I'm like, you got to be 12, and then you can come hang out with us, you know. But she saw everything. She saw everything that she shouldn't do. You know, like
Yeah.
my brother Timmy was the wild child in the sense of like being adventurous and just physically trying new things. You know, JC was more of the safe guy, but as long as he knew he was safe, he would do it.
Yeah.
I was the kid who was a follower. I had friends who were not good for me, and so I would do things that I shouldn't have been doing.
right.
But my youngest sister saw all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, she saw what to do, what not to do. If she was gonna not do it, she knew like how to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a saying that actually, I don't know if I should say his name, but he says, "Hey, be good. If you can't be good at it."
Yeah. No,
So-
yeah. No, I know who you're talking
And
about.
yeah, so we used to do our thing. And Rhiannon, she was such an observer,
Yeah.
and she is such a good kid now.
That's awesome.
You know, because she saw the repercussions of everything that I have done wrong, but she also saw everything that we have done right, you know, and she kind of like falls in our footsteps, but in the right way,
Right.
you know, because I hate it when parents are saying like, hey, listen to what I say, but don't do what I did.
Oh, do
you
as
know?
I
Oh, yeah.
say, not as I do.
Yeah,
I hate
exactly.
that.
And it's like, come on.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But at the same time, it's like, I get it because they were able, like, they survived whatever they did.
Right, that's true.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you may not survive if you do it, you know, like, don't do what I did because I got lucky, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a pretty firm believer in God. Like, I got,
Yeah.
luck was part of it, but also I was taken care of, you
Yeah.
know, and so it's, being the youngest child, I didn't get that much privilege because we didn't have that much of a privileged life. But I did have the freedom because my brothers were there.
Right.
You know, my oldest brother, he did not have that much freedom because he couldn't go out there by himself.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the privilege that I had.
Yeah.
But when it came to disciplinary action, I still got spankings. I still got grounded. We used to be grounded for months.
Timmy.
And it was, hey, you can't go outside. Like that was us being grounded.
Right.
Like what do you
nowadays they don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
nowadays let's go outside. You
No
know?
tablet.
Yeah.
No TV.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, you know. Timmy actually,
Yeah.
he has the record for being grounded the longest.
Yeah, exactly a year.
It was one whole year.
Year?
I remember this. I was
'Cause
there.
He knocked me out on my birthday in front of all my friends.
No.
Yeah.
Your parents actually stuck with it?
Yeah, my dad did.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad did.
That's
Like,
dedication right
we
there.
would have friends come over like, hey, can they hang out with us? And my dad would be like, no, they're grounded. Like they ain't going nowhere. But with Timmy, it was on my birthday, so my dad was like, you're grounded until Sammy's next birthday. Like that, it was an easy date to remember, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened was it was right after school. I was 9 years old. I invited all my friends to my
Trampoline
house,
boxing.
and we're trampoline boxing. right? And then the
This
best
was
people,
fun.
like we had brackets and everything. Like we used to watch UFC all the time.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
we had
gosh,
this whole thing
how?
set up.
we had our lunch money like on people. We were terrible.
And so, long story short, the two best fighters came up. It was me and my oldest brother. Well, on the ground, I'm pretty good. On a trampoline, Timmy has the advantage because Timmy's like he does parkour, he does everything.
Oh,
He knows how to launch people on trampolines and everything, and that's exactly what happened. We're bouncing on the trampoline, going back and forth, and he like takes my jump and launches me in midair, and he's just bing, 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 bing. And I remember just waking up, and all my friends are just laughing hysterically, and I'm just crying. I'm bawling my eyes out. And then my dad's walking the back. He's like, "Sweetie, why are you crying?" I was like, "Timmy knocked me out." And my dad kind of like chuckled for a second, like he thought that was funny, but then he realized like I was hurt, and embarrassed. So he was like, "I gotta discipline my kid. Like, how am I gonna do this, Timmy? You're grounded." So,
Yeah.
anyways, before we leave, is there anything you guys want to say? I know time is running out real quick. So, Kyle, what you got? Sucks for the sad for the Chiefs or for the 49ers or what?
Yeah, no, I was really pulling for the 49ers there.
Yeah. It's a close one.
But
It's a close one.
congrats to Patrick Mahomes. 4 Super Bowls in 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Oh,
pretty good.
wow.
I don't
He's
know.
won?
I don't know if that's
He's
a record,
won.
but that's pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome.
What about you, Brianna? Any last words?
Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh,
This was
thank you
fun.
for
I had a
coming.
massive headache. It's kind of alleviated at this point,
Oh,
but
good.
it's still there. But I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we have like 2 more minutes. That's cool. My thing I got to say is happy Sunday, first of all. And second of all, I'm going to actually listen to your show because
Oh.
you have
Yeah,
a pretty
no,
interesting
seriously.
lifestyle. And it's every Sunday at 2?
Yes,
Yeah.
from 2 to 3 o'clock.
Where can our listeners find you?
KCAA radio station 106.5
And
FM.
10:50, yeah.
10:50 a.m.
There you
Gosh,
go.
I don't know why I drew a blank there. I've been doing it a little over a year.
Do you have any social media or website?
I do have both. My life insurance company name is TrueLeg, and so it's www.trueleg.com. And you can follow me on social media at Brianna Life 31. That's Brianna with 1 N, Briana.
Nice. And guys, check out our website. You can see all of our guests for the next month and a half. Super
Yeah.
excited for all of them to be here. Thank you, Brianna, for being here. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Kyle, you're the man. We're going to head out, guys, but stay tuned. We got Ferran at 8 o'clock. So, hey, keep in tune and drive safe. Happy Sunday and go Chiefs. No, I'm just kidding. All right, you guys. Happy Sunday.
Hey, feeling good, like I should.